resolution is 2010-05. It's a designation of an agent for snowstorm reporting for Blawnox Borough, and we have identified Sherry Cordes as the agent for the borough.
We need a motion to designate Sherry Cordes as our agent for snowstorm reporting.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
So motion's been made and seconded. Call for question. Roll call vote, please.
Denny?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Bev?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
All in favor? Motion carries.
We have no further ordinances or resolutions for this evening.
Is there anything under old business?
No.
New business. Approval of periodic estimate number 2 from Zatola Landscaping for pedestrian lighting project. Need a motion to approve?
Can I?
Oh, go ahead.
I just want to give a short discussion on that, or some words on that. Again, that's estimate number 1 was a partial payment on the delivery of the lamps, the luminaries, and poles, and this is the final payment since we received everything. They've been looked at by, I believe, the borough and the contractor that's installing it.
Yes.
I think both. They're all in good condition. So Zatola Landscaping is requesting payment.
Do we have, is there a holdback on this? 10%?
I don't see any retainage since we are in possession of it. It's for the total order less retainage $85,658.66, and that's the total amount of the contract. Since
So
we're
in your
possession.
opinion, we should
Correct.
accept this?
Correct.
Need a motion to approve?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Motion's been approved and seconded. Any call for question? Roll call vote, please.
Denny?
Yes.
Kate?
Yes.
Beverly?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
All in favor? Motion carries.
Next item on new business is streetlight rental.
Yeah, I can give an explanation of that. I was contacted approximately 2 weeks ago by Craig Kavanaugh. Craig Kavanaugh was the person who owns the company that provided us with we purchased them through, okay, both the luminaire and pole. And he indicated to me that there was a movie company that was going to be shooting a movie in the area, and they were in need of decorative lighting for the particular area that they were going to be shooting this movie on a temporary basis. And he told this movie company that the only lights that were available were the ones that Blawnox had received recently. So he and I talked, and I asked him what he thought that a reasonable amount would be if we chose to rent these lights. And he said somewhere between $450 and $500 a light. So I told him, all right, thanks for the information. I then called the installer, who was Victor, and Victor, I said, Victor, if we decided to do this, would this have any problem with your contract to do the stalling, or what? He said, no. He says, in fact, he says, you have to be kidding me. Victor's house is in the community where they're going to shoot this in his business where they're going to shoot this. He says, my God Almighty, he says, I know the street and everything else. I said, okay, so in your opinion, he says, if you can get some rental out of it, get it. He says, it won't interfere with my working on it because we're still having the lights installed by light. He said, that's not a problem, we've got a lot of time. So then it was a couple of days later that I was contacted from the woman from the filming agency, And she indicated to me she wanted to come and we had a discussion on the phone, and I said, well, I said, I have to get approval from council to do it, but I said, I don't see any problem with it. She told me about the time that they would need the lights and for the period of time that they would need them. She said probably the longest we're going to have them is probably 3 to 4 weeks. She says we're only going to need them for a 3-day shooting period, but we have to set them up and of course get them done. And she says, how much would you want for them? I said, $500 a light. I said, how many lights are you going to need? She says, well, we might need like 30. And I says, well, we have 32. She says, that's wonderful. So I said, I need you to come out and look at them to make sure that the lanyards and so forth are going to meet the period that you're trying to do in the picture and so forth. So she did. We had come out here. It was was it this week, Sherry, or last week?
Last week.
Last week, the end of last week. And we took them down. They looked at the lights and so forth. The installer was even there, and she said they're very nice. She says we're going to want them. She says I'll get back to you on a number. It's my understanding that Sherry talked to her today, and she said that she probably won't need 30, and I was hoping she would need 30, and the council would approve 30 because that'd be $15,000 that we could get for leasing these to them. And they're going to supply us with a bond, okay, and of course an agreement in case there's any damage to them or something. They would have to replace them and or make sure they're fixed. And they will pick them up, they'll take them, and they'll put them down, and they'll deliver them back here. So she told Sherry today that there might be a lesser amount. She says it might be between 20 and 24. So I would encourage, it's still looking like at $10,000 to $12,000. So that's nice, because we do, if I remember when we went through this grant thing, we have a shortcoming for those lights to purchase that we're going to be short with all the grants. The total project costs are anticipated to be $148,058. Okay, we have about $110,000 in grants and funds available to put through that. We're going to be about $38,000 and some change short. So if we can add another $10,000 to $15,000 to that shortage, it's certainly going to help. It's certainly going to help the borough. So I see nothing wrong with it. I talked to Jack about it. He saw nothing wrong with it. I talked to the installer. He sees nothing wrong with it. And it's not going to hurt the borough. The borough's going to do nothing but gain from it. So I would encourage council tonight to authorize the borough to enter into an agreement for an amount to rent the lights at $500 a piece for an amount of $500 a piece, and the number of lights to be somewhere between 20 and 30. We don't know what. She's going to have the person from the movie company come out who actually sets the scene, I guess, and look at this street and say, okay, we need one here, and the distance between the lights and so forth. So that's going to determine whether they're going to need 20 of them or 30. But I would strongly suggest to council consider doing this. It's a win-win situation.
Sounds like the homes will protect it.
Yeah, we have
Okay,
to.
we would need a motion then to authorize the entry into an agreement with, you know, the name of the company? DreamWorks.
DreamWorks, thanks,
All right,
Sam.
motion to enter
DreamWorks.
into an agreement with DreamWorks Inc., I believe it is, for the rental of streetlights in the amount of $500 for streetlights between 20 and 30 streetlights. We have a motion.
I'll make the motion.
We have a
I'll second.
Have a motion and a second to rent the street lights. Any questions? Roll call vote, please.
Denny?
Yes.
Katie?
Yes.
Bev?
Yes.
Randy?
Yes.
Sam?
Yes.
All in favor? Motion carries.
Okay, now we're at the section of the agenda for other public comment.
Oh, Jack, can I say one thing on the new business, please? Yeah, okay, before we get into that. Even though this month's going fast, we have to get ourselves for Memorial Day, because we won't be having another meeting, so.
Thank you, Denny. I'll be making the calls to the committee tomorrow. And I'm going to try, just so you know, I'm going to try to set that up so I don't, for next week. So that's